Welcome in, everybody, on this fine Saturday afternoon. We are live from Xfinity Mobile Arena, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And if we were doing first names, this would be the Kristen Eric Big, but we're doing last names, so it's the Press Row Show. Give you guys a minute to let that one sink in. I'm intern Andrew. This is my last show hosting, and then I'll be handing over the keys to Russ once he gets back to the United States. Anthony SanFilippo with me as always, and now joining the show, Kevin Kurz. Kevin Kurz, now famous.
Yes.
Mentioned on Spit and Chicklets the other day. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Whitney read your article. So the Flyers coming in facing the New York Rangers. The Rangers might be the only team worse in the Eastern Conference than the Flyers these last few days. So however many days ago when the Flyers played the Maple Leafs, 1-0 lead in that game, they've been outscored 25-8 since then. Where this is dire straits, as I might say. I guess we might as well start with, he did score the other night, but Matvei Michkov, and I assume this is why Ant wanted you on the show. I saw you wrote about him the other day. I don't know what's left to say about him.
Yeah, I mean, Kev, I looked at it and I said he was better against Pittsburgh. I thought he had a better game against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So I don't want to kill the guy because he had a decent game. But I think you were spot on to do that story when you did it, because the two games against Tampa and the game against Buffalo, he looked terrible.
Yeah.
Just looked terrible. And there's got to be something said about it at this point. That's the thing I want to say is this, because Flyers Twitter goes crazy. You know it as well as I do. There's not a person in the sport who is sitting there publicly saying, "Oh, the Flyers are doing this wrong. The Flyers are ruining Matvei Michkov."
Yeah.
Everybody you talk to in the sport of hockey, and not just in Philadelphia,
You're right,
outside of Philadelphia, is saying the same thing about Matvei Michkov.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's we saw Ryan Whitney and Paul Bissonnette say the same thing. We've heard it hasn't just been me locally. We've all been watching them. Now, you always have to. You always have to explain that doesn't mean that everybody thinks he's going to be a complete bust. Either.
Correct.
It's
correct.
There's always a nuance is the first thing to go in these discussions. It's just how it is online right now, right? It's a nuanced discussion. He hasn't been good this season. He's been underwhelming. He's regressed, but he could still be a superstar. So that's where it is. That's where I think where it is with everybody that's been watching this and has been watching him. Now, as far as the Tampa series goes, what does every coach and every player say? What's the old cliche every time guys get hurt? Well, we need somebody to step up.
Right.
So to me, going into the two-game Tampa series, I wasn't here for Saturday's game. I had to miss it, but I watched it.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, and he gets a chance with Zegras and Dvorak.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity for him to really step up, as they all say, and assert himself and do something. And that didn't last very long. He wasn't good that game. And 2 nights later, they're still missing Bobby Brink and the same thing. So, it was disappointing. I think that I think it is disappointing that we're at this stage of the season and there really hasn't been much improvement. And you wonder, now that we're at this stage of the season, is there going to be any noticeable improvement between now and the end of the season? Now, of course, he has that Olympic break,
right.
Like we've talked about before.
Correct.
That's what's going to tell us, I think, that's going to be that's going to help frame his season as a whole.
I've been trying to say since it first came out that this guy came into camp out of shape and was not quite where they needed him to be. Even if he started doing things the right way, the rest of the league was also going to be moving forward. Right. So he really was going to have an opportunity to catch up. Now, to his credit, and I've said this too, during the Christmas break, while everybody else was off and having the holidays, he was in the gym, he was on the ice, he was skating. Now, it's only 3-4 days. That's not going to make enough of a difference. But could the nearly 3-week Olympic break be a difference when you come back at the end of February and you see a little bit closer to the same player from last year? Maybe. Certainly can.
Yeah. And, especially, you look at the Olympic break, a lot of the guys that aren't in the Olympics are probably going to go sitting on a beach for a couple days at least, right? I mean, let's face it here. They're going to take some time off. I would hope if you're Matvei Michkov, you're not going to go sit on a beach. You're not going to go to Miami or Cancun or anything else. You're going to be in that weight room. You're going to be on the bike.
Yeah.
You're going to be working at it. And I think he understands that. That's what gets lost a little bit too. I think he knows. I think his head is in a good place. I think he knows what he did wrong. I think he is learning the lesson right now that, hey, if the Flyers haven't paid him yet, if he wants to get paid, well, listen, you better pick it up or you're not going to get paid.
So, can you pull up Tony Louis' comment because I want to ask Kevin his thought on that.
I'm going to transition also.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Tocchet deserves some of the blame here, though. To say none of it is Tocchet's fault is ridiculous. Tocchet has always struggled with purely skilled forwards, Keller, Pedersen, etc. The next direction of this particular conversation I want to go is Michkov's relationship with the coaching. So I'll pull up this because, as I mentioned, Kevin, you're famous now. Ryan Whitney quote tweeted your article.
Yes.
He said wrong.
It was sarcastic.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
People know.
People, for whatever reason, weren't picking up on the sarcasm here. He said wrong. Tocchet just doesn't play him enough. Trust me, as Flyers fans, if Michkov is as good as Celebrini, he's just getting screwed by the coach. It's unbelievable. And my buddies the other day sent me this insane Flyers fan account tweet that was saying that Tocchet's doing it on purpose to sabotage him because he doesn't like him. I'm like, this is
it's
now
not even worth
this narrative is getting out
so
of
stupid,
but the narrative's getting on hand. And the last time we were here, I brought up the stat of all of the newcomers the Flyers have had: Dvorak, Gabrankin, Zegras, etc. All of them are going to surpass their point total that they had last year when they were on a different team. I really have a hard time believing that it's the coaching that's the reason Michkov's struggling right now. I'm not buying it.
If Rick Tocchet wants to keep this job for his full 5-year term, that means he's going to have to develop Matvei Michkov into a star.
Yes.
So let's remember that. He give me a break with Elias Pettersson. This guy's a dog. Okay, he's got 27 points in 37 games. Don't compare him to Elias Pettersson. Matvei Michkov is doing the right things off the ice. Elias Pettersson, I don't think did.
Correct.
So he hasn't. Tocchet isn't the coach in Vancouver anymore. Why is Elias Pettersson still the most overplayed player in the league? So that's a ridiculous comparison. There's a reason Vancouver's supposedly looking to trade him right now. And again, it's the conditioning factor. I know people get mad when you mention it too often. Rick's, he's been working with him. He doesn't have a whole lot to work with when it comes to Matvei's effectiveness. So, it's not just play the young guys in the top 6 and hope they figure it out. You're trying to win hockey games. You're trying to establish this guy in a team setting. Now, listen, if we're here a year from now and it's still the same with Matvei Michkov, then it's going to be time to question whether the coaching staff is handling him the right way. But, Andrew, you said it. A lot of the guys that came in, a lot of the young guys on the team, York and Drysdale, I would say Bobby Brink, I think, has looked better. A lot of these young guys have become better players under Tocchet so far. The team, despite the recent downturn, I think they're in a better place than most people expected them to be at this point in the season. You got to look at the big picture. You can't just go off the last 2 weeks. Let's let this develop a little bit longer before we start, blaming Rick Tocchet for ruining a young player.
It's the best start that they've had in their first 40 games since 2012.
Yeah. I mean, it was up until the overtime loss to Toronto.
Scott Laughton might have broken the team, ironically.
I'm just what do you think? I'm so sick of hearing the Elias Pettersson comparison. They are not the same person. They are not the same player. And Pettersson isn't an under 100-point guy again now that Rick Tocchet ruined him. Give me a break. The guy's a hockey player. If he wanted to come in and have a better year this season, he's not doing that yet. He's just okay making.
And how different has Elias Pettersson been since JT Miller's gone?
Yeah, not in a good way.
Right. That's right. And I know they didn't get along. That was the big problem there.
Yeah.
But you see when having a player of Miller's caliber.
JT Miller's not exactly.
No, but not here, right? Yeah. But I'm just saying, but what his caliber in Vancouver made Pettersson a better player because you were able to deploy him in certain situations that were more advantageous.
Yeah,
you take Miller out of the equation, and now Pettersson has to be the guy.
And they're the worst team in the league.
And he isn't the guy. And that's the thing. And so that's what you learn about it, right? So it's the same thing.
And the same people whining online about Matvei Michkov are the same people that were saying Danny Briere should go out and trade for Elias Pettersson. Come on. Let's tune in and tune out the right people here.
You can't win, Kevin. You can't win.
No. Yeah, that's why I just got to shut it off and delete it from the phone.
No, and it's funny because people sit there and kill us all the time for saying what we say about Michkov. I want to reiterate. I still think there's an all-star caliber player.
We saw it second half of last year.
In Matvei Michkov. Today, I still think it's there, and I think that the Flyers' intention is going to be to get him there, right? I mean, how hard is it? I mean, what more do we have to say? It's just, it's the nature of the season. It's the way it works in hockey. It can't be a what have you done for me lately thing. You have to understand that it's a 12-month of the year kind of thing, and you have to take advantage of your downtime. And if you don't take advantage of your downtime, this is the result you get.
Yeah. And, I'm going to be interested to see how he plays today because, he scored a goal. I forget what game it was, but a couple of months ago he was on a cold streak and he scored that goal in Nashville, and he looked like it really added some pep to his step.
And you know what I was most impressed with? Him dropping the gloves.
Yep.
That says something for the team.
And it says something about where his head is at. He's not frustrated. He's not sulking.
Correct.
He wants to get this right. His mind is in the right place.
Correct.
So you hope he learned the lesson, and you hope that he gets better throughout the course of the second half of this season, and he very well might.
Development for any player in any sport is not linear. Right. It doesn't mean just because you had a really good first season that you should have an equally as good second season. Right. Sometimes you take that step back, right, and still be a star player down the line. It just is the way it is, and you need to understand that the Flyers are going to nurture him. And I saw a stat, and I don't remember exactly what it was. Kevin, maybe you remember it. But it was somebody put out something talking about his minutes, right? Which, of course, is ridiculous because his shift total is about the same where it should be compared to last year, all right? It's only off by like one shift, maybe two at some time. So it's pretty much the same. But that when he plays more than 16 minutes, the team is worse. And when he plays less than 16 minutes, the team is better.
Okay.
And he's better.
Yeah.
Like his numbers are better when he plays less than 16.
I think Biz mentioned that, right?
I think it might be what's where I saw. I didn't hear it. I saw it. So I'm just trying to remember what it was. But I mean, it's a thing. Like, I mean, obviously when you keep his shifts shorter and you deploy him at times that he's going to have a better chance to succeed, he's going to be better and the team's going to be better.
Yeah.
Pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that stat off the top of my head, but, if that's the case, that's...
And here's the thing. Yeah. Hold the other players accountable the same way you hold Matvei Michkov accountable. They do. They do. If you don't think... They benched Sean Couturier for the third period the other night. Didn't even play in the third period. Is that not accountability for other players? It's the captain of the team. They are holding other players accountable. The reason you think they're not holding other players accountable is because all we have to do is talk about Matvei Michkov because the fans bring up Matvei Michkov. That's the reason. Every other player is being held accountable. Alexei Kolosov is starting in net today. Why is Alexei Kolosov starting in net today, Kevin?
Yes, because Sam Emerson is not getting it done.
They're holding him accountable. He's being benched.
Yeah.
I'd also say the other players on the team weren't drafted 7 overall.
Well, yes, I mean, there's also that, too.
But also, I've seen people focusing in on Travis Konechny, and just have Travis Konechny turned the puck over too much this year? Yes.
Yes.
Travis Konechny is also second on the team in scoring.
Yes.
And he was on a heater before this little downturn.
Yeah, this last 4 games, he was averaging more than a point a game.
Yeah.
So you accept the turnovers because there's a trade-off, right? Yeah, it drives the coaches crazy that you turn the puck over.
And it's a player that's in a different stage of his development.
Correct.
Travis Konechny is what he is.
Yeah.
And he's the emotional leader of this team on the bench. So, you live with some different stuff with different players.
Right. And there will be a time, I would think, in Matvei Michkov's career where he will do the same thing.
Yep.
Where he will be the guy who's turning the puck over a little bit too much, but because he's scoring enough and he's a 7-year veteran at that point or whatever it is, you go, you accept that.
Yes.
Right? That will happen.
It's the PlayStation mentality where, there's a human element to all this. And in hockey, probably more than any other sport, that has to be considered, right?
Yes.
So I'm sure Garnet Hathaway, for example, was not playing well.
No.
Garnet Hathaway was probably given more rope from Rick Tocchet because of how loved he is in the room, because of how hard he works off the ice.
And he's a veteran.
Yeah. And, can you make the argument that maybe they should have pulled him out of the lineup earlier? Yeah, you can make that argument. But you have to consider so many different things instead of just what you see on the ice and what you see on the stat sheet. There's other elements that have to be considered. And that's, I think, one strength of Tocchet is that he understands all that. Because he played the game and he gets it.
And look at what happened when they brought Garnet Hathaway back.
Yeah.
I mean, he sat for 6 games. You're talking about pulling a veteran player and sitting him out for 6 consecutive games, a guy who had been in your lineup consistently when healthy for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think he played all 82 last year.
No, he got the injury at the end of the year, remember?
Oh, yeah, maybe it was the year before that.
It was the year before that he played all 82, and then almost every game last year until he got hurt right at the end. So you just pulled that guy out of the lineup for 6 games.
Yeah.
He comes back, and he looks like a different player. Right? Playing the way he needs to play to be on your 4th line.
Yeah.
That's holding a player accountable. That's having a private meeting with him that's not publicized, that's not a big thing, and then he comes back and gives you what you need from him, right? That's good coaching.
Yep.
I don't know how else to describe it, right? Let's get to the goalies, because I dragging on about the Mishkov thing.
Well, okay, so first question. Do either of you guys know what the severity is of Vladar's injury?
I hear it's not severe.
So no IR trip?
It's kind of a day-to-day thing for now. Okay. I mean, obviously he's not back yet.
Well, Rick Tocchet left open the possibility he could play at the end of the road trip next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said maybe the 3rd game, which is Colorado, which I guess is next Friday night.
Yeah, I was originally told probably 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Total.
That's not great, but
but I think that the more interesting thing when we're talking about Vladar, and the Flyers won't say this out loud, but if they had their druthers, he'd go, it's a pleasure to be on the Olympic team, but I'm going to sit this one out to get healthy.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, but you can't ask a guy to not do that, right?
Not.
But I'm saying if they had
he might be the starter.
I was going to say he's probably going to be the number 1.
If they had control, they would not make him. They would say, "Don't go."
Oh, the Flyers had control.
Yeah.
I think every NHL team would say that about every player.
Yeah.
In theory,
Sanheim's a guy that he's worn down the last couple of years too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be probably playing big minutes for Tampa.
Yeah, do you think the Avalanche want Nathan McKinnon playing for somebody not the Avalanche? You know what I mean?
Understood. But I mean, at the same time, you sit there and go, all right, it's the Olympics. These guys, if you're healthy, you should be able to go. There's the reason that they would not want him to go is because the injury is something that could be chronic. If you keep.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. Of course, you don't want any player to get hurt playing for somebody that's not you.
Right.
Right? Of course not.
Tavares was the one that got hurt.
Yeah, Tavares got hurt.
Or Edwin Diaz of the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, that's right. Jumping up and down, celebrating, right? But
go ahead.
No, but so I wanted to get into the goaltending because I think this is a very telling thing today. You're starting Kolosov in a game you absolutely have to win.
Yeah.
And not starting Ersson with rest. I think it says a lot about where the Flyers are with their backup goalie right now. And I've been on this train, and I feel like if we're talking about beating a dead horse, people kill us for talking about Mishkov. You should kill me for beating up on Sam Ersson for 2 months because I had been. For 2 months been saying this guy should not be on the team. Okay? Yep. All right? So beat me up for that. But I think the Flyers are finally like, we can't risk points by starting him again.
I agree. I agree with everything you said. I mean, he's just not getting it done. He's just not looking good. I mean, it's goalies are weird, right? I mean, we have seen Sam Ersson play well. Now I feel like his best games in the last 6 months were the international games, or the last 12 months, I guess, were the 4 nations and the World Championships. But I mean, I don't know what you're going to get out of Kolosov either. He always had some good games with the Phantoms, but he didn't exactly, shut the door the other night when he came on in relief either. Right. So who knows what we're going to get? Who knows what we're going to get out of this Rangers team tonight? Right after that letter yesterday.
Well, I wanted to get into that too.
I was going to say,
up, or are they going to look like?
I was going to say the Flyers are actually in a very similar situation to the Rangers in that I think both teams are basically just incapable of winning, at least consistently, without Shesterkin and Vladar, respectively. Yeah. So, that's why I brought up how severe is Vladar's injury, because if they have to roll with Ersson and Kolosov going forward, the Flyers offensively don't have the Colorado or the Dallas firepower to just bank on being able to score 5 goals a night. It's just not going to happen.
No, you're looking at Vladar ultimately is going to probably miss about 5 games total. Right. In total.
You just have to bite the bullet, I guess, and hope just win 2.
Yeah, you can go. Well, they're already 0-2 of those 5, right? So you got 3 more. Okay. Right, so you want to go 2-0-1.
Well, the good thing is they're playing probably the only team in the Eastern Conference worse than the Flyers of late has been the Rangers.
Vegas and Utah haven't exactly been world beaters either.
No.
The Flyers play more like they did in November rather than lately. They're going to be in those games, but whether they can get back to that, I mean, I don't know.
Vegas has lost more games than they won, and they're in first place.
Yeah.
I saw that stat,
The whole division.
The Sharks have the most amount of wins in that division.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Really? I didn't know that.
It's crazy. That division is unbelievable. So yeah, Vegas is beatable. Utah's a decent team, but they're beatable.
Yeah.
You need
Colorado. Let's just write that one.
Yeah, but that's the game that Vladar might be back for. But the point is that whoever's
maybe Colorado will be bored.
I know, right? Whoever is in goal for the Flyers just needs to keep them in the game. The Flyers aren't asking these guys to go out there and shut out the opponent.
Yeah,
they're saying
most
just
teams aren't like that anymore, right? You just need to get some time.
Keep us at 3.
Yeah.
Keep it at 3 goals.
Yeah.
Like it's it. You give us a chance to win if it's 3.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they're looking for. Do you think that there's an opportunity or possibility for Danny Briere to go elsewhere and find a goalie to come in and kind of be the backup for Vladar at this point?
I do. I think there's going to be options. If you look around the league right now, there's actually a few teams that are getting their goaltenders back healthy, right? Matt Murray in Seattle is one. Alex Lyons coming back in Buffalo. So there's actually a few teams, and I wrote about this a couple days ago, where there might be an opportunity there for a team, whether it's the Flyers or someone else, to go out and try and upgrade their goaltending. So I think at this point, he might have to salvage the season. I don't know. I don't think you can rely on, even if he comes back. Let's say he has a great game in Vegas or something, and is that going to completely change his narrative of the season? It's not.
No.
So,
you know who I brought up the other day, and Ant didn't really shoot me down, but he wasn't like thrilled with my idea. Akira Schmid from Vegas.
I don't know. He's a guy, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Now, that said, I thought Vladar was just a guy coming into
fair.
the game this season. He's been great. So, who the hell even ever knows with these goaltenders? But what I do know is I don't think you can rely on Sam Ersson anymore.
No, and what I think that they were hoping for, and the Vladar injury changes the whole calculus of this, right? What I think they were hoping for was just get to the Olympic break.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then we'll make then reassess at that point, because then you're up against the trade deadline. Teams are more interested in or more likely to move a guy at that point.
Yeah,
you're 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks early here, and that's the problem, and that's why he's I think Briere's in a tough spot, but he might have to bite the bullet and give something up to go get a guy.
And I know people say, well, the Flyers shouldn't be giving up assets for rental players. Well, it depends. Would he give up a third-round pick for a reliable backup goaltender? I think he would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Might take some convincing. Second-round pick might be too much. But, third, and I don't know, maybe is there a guy in the Phantoms that might need to change the scenery or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, would you give up that to try to save the team? I think, the team's going to have to play better, I think.
Yes.
But if the team starts playing better and it just becomes solely a goaltending problem, then I think Danny, as they've said all along, he's going to owe it to these guys to do something and to try to fix that position, because it is a problem right now.
Yeah. And last thing I want to get to, you talk about the players having to play better. I don't know about you. I watched that Pittsburgh game, and I thought it was a weird game in this sense. I thought at 5-on-5, they were very good. Very good.
Yeah, special teams has been
the special teams is what killed them that game. Both sides of it.
Yeah.
Power play couldn't score, and the penalty kill was a disaster.
Yeah.
Right. So, to me, if the 5-on-5, I didn't think 5-on-5 they were good against Tampa at all, and I felt they were they had a spurt here and there against Buffalo, but not good enough. Mm-hmm. The 5-on-5 against Pittsburgh, I thought they were the better team. Yeah. So that maybe to me that's a sign that
other than taking dumb penalties,
that they're coming out of it a little bit, right? So I looked at that and said, okay, that could be a positive, but it's all about special teams for me right now.
And on that note, the common theme over the last 48 hours on social media has been, why you guys are too easy on Rick Tocchet? Well, this is where I do blame the coaching staff a little bit, is especially the power play.
Yeah,
Rick Tocchet's supposed to be a good power play coach, and the guy, Yogi is supposed to be his guy to fix the power play. The power play actually looked pretty good early in the season, and then they start fiddling with it and trying to galaxy brain this thing.
Yeah.
When you had a good thing going, and ever since there's been guys in and out of the top unit, the second unit. The coaching staff is to blame for this power play this time. The players obviously bear some of the responsibility because we haven't seen them execute over 3 seasons, but I don't think the coaching staff did them any favors with the power play.
No,
this season
they didn't. The only thing is this is the one thing I'll say about the power play. There's 3 things that you need to have a successful power play aside from skill. I mean, we all know top end skill makes power play better, right? Okay, but there's 3 things that you need. You need good shots from the point. They get none of that.
Yeah.
All right. You need traffic in front of the net. They don't get there. And third thing, and it's really noticeable this year, is you need to win a draw in the offensive zone.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And so think about it. Ever since they moved the automatic face-off in the offensive zone on a penalty, if you remember back in the day, it was where the penalty occurred, right? So ever since they moved it, that's when the percentages started to climb like high 20s and even to the 30% for the best teams.
Yeah.
But that's because you win a draw and you're already set up.
Yeah.
The Flyers never win the draw.
Yeah, that's fair.
So now you got to work to get an entry and set up. You're killing 30 seconds of that power play. You're shorthanding yourself. So that is an imperative thing too. So yes, it's on coaching too, but those 3 elements are what's really missing on the Flyers power play. Kev, as always.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Good stuff, my friend.
Thank you, Kevin.
Have a good one. We'll have you on again sometime down the line.
Next time Meach Cup does something.
Yeah.
Kevin Kurz.
Kevin Kurz.
All right, so the one good news for the Flyers, I would say, is their opponent evidently has just waved the white flag on the season. So we might as well get into that now, right?
Have they? I mean, it's so weird.
Well, can I read it? I'll breeze through it.
Go ahead.
All right, so here's the message put out from Chris Drury from the what's his position with the Rangers? President and General Manager?
Yes.
Want to take a moment to connect with our loyal and passionate fan base. We know and feel your disappointment with how the season has gone to this point. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The one thing that I think would bother me, I actually underestimated how long that was.
Yeah, it's good.
When I'm reading it in my head, it sounds shorter. The one that would bother me, I think, if I'm a Rangers fan, is him saying it's not a rebuild, it's a retool.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm like, if I'm a Rangers fan, just tell me how. Like, don't spit in my face and then tell me it's raining. It's a rebuild. They got to start over.
Yeah.
Panarin's gone. I sent the tweet in the group chat. I think right after this message was put out, it was announced that the Rangers said they're not going to offer an extension to Panarin. The rumors that I've heard is that maybe Buffalo's going to try to make a trade for him. I don't know what's going to happen with the other pieces like the Savannah Jads and the Foxes and the Trocheks, whatever. I would imagine it's just Sturkin's really the only untouchable, quote unquote.
Correct.
But the Rangers are in a lot of trouble right now. So that, first of all, do you agree with my sentiment about what's even the difference between a retool and a rebuild?
So, I mean, you could say a retool. I think a team that is, maybe underachieved. Sometimes teams just have a stinker of a year, right? Like, they're good teams. Your talent is good. For whatever reason, whether it's injury or something, they had a bad stretch of games and they never could really get out of it. Sometimes you just have that bad year. Like, it happens. Like, teams have a bad year every once in a while. And so you can look at that and go, okay, let's make a couple of changes to the roster. Keep most of it, but make a couple of changes and go back at it next year. That's a retool.
It's hard to believe this team's only 2 years removed from winning the President's Trophy.
Yeah.
So
that would be a retool. Rebuild is where you basically get rid of all of your good players and start from scratch and hope to hit the lottery.
It sounds like they're getting rid of at least one of their good players, Panarin.
Well, we know they're getting rid of Panarin.
Right. So
yeah, that's a given. I think you're going to see them move other players too, and I think Fox is one. Zibanejad maybe. I mean, but that's it. I mean, where else do you go beyond that?
Why say Trocheck? But his contract may not be that.
Yeah, he's got another year left, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, the thing that's more. I don't know if you want to keep that up there for. I think everybody's read it by now.
I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot it was up there.
That's okay. The thing that I think is most hysterical about this is you went the letter route again. They just did this.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. I messaged a guy on Twitter, Avery, I believe his last name is Zaretsky. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
He used to be a producer at Barstool. That's how I know who he is. Huge Rangers fan. I'm sure Flyers fans on Twitter have seen him at some point on Twitter. So I've had brief correspondence with him via Twitter DMs in the past, so I messaged him this morning just to gauge the temperature of what the Rangers fans are. So he actually got back to me and oddly optimistic. I thought he was going to say that the sky was falling.
Yeah.
But here's what he wrote. He said, the second letter in 5 years would most likely make anyone look at this and call it a failure, but you can't sit here and say Drury didn't try. Now, I could call out a plethora of questionable moves from Drury, but he took a lot of big swings and the results on the ice just didn't pan out. The expectation will always be a Stanley Cup in New York, but 2 Eastern Conference final trips in 5 years cannot be overlooked when thinking about success. The product on the ice just couldn't get it done. Any Rangers fan who needs some optimism should hear this. They have only missed the playoffs 5 times in the last 20 years. Dolan will not let this team be bad for long. It's his baby.
Yeah, he's right about that. I mean, the Rangers they'll get good again. I just don't know. Like, look, when you have a goalie like Shesterkin, you're always going to be in games, right? So, and you know, the Vegas Golden Knights are an example of this year. Like I said, they've lost more games than they've won, and they're in first place.
Right.
Like
the loser point.
Yeah, the loser point can keep you competitive. So, and how do you stay competitive with a loser point? You either have a great offense that puts up a ton of goals, or you have a really good goalie. And that's what they have, except that he's hurt right now.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why they're in the way that they're in. So
what's up, Bundy?
Hey,
how are you guys?
Good to see you, Bundy.
You got some keys for us?
Yeah, I got keys. Let me pull them up again here.
Yeah. Well, why don't we do picks, Andrew, and then Bundy can give his keys.
All right.
Russ was 3-2 Flyers, right?
Yeah, and the funny thing is I'm going to pull a Russ. I'm going 6-3 Flyers.
Yeah. I could never pick 6 goals in a game.
5-3.
Wow.
5-3, and the Flyers will get an empty netter.
I can never pick 6. Look, I think there's a.
You're going to hate my pick then.
Well, I think there's a very real possibility. I'm going to qualify it. I think there's a very real possibility that this game total goes over 10 goals between the two teams.
Thank you.
So I'll give you my pick.
Yeah.
I'm going 8-4 Flyers.
Really?
8-4 Flyers.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I really do think it's a high-scoring game. I personally cannot do it. I cannot predict that high of a score. I picked the Flyers to win as well. I'm going 5-4 Flyers. 5, because I can't predict that high, but I think it can get there.
Okay, so 8-4, 5-4, 6-3, and Russ was 3-2.
That's the best part about it.
He has the most normal score.
He has the most normal
The
score.
black sheep himself is going 3-2.
I was going to go 8-2, but I'm just saying the Rangers it's just going to turn into a slop fest.
Yeah, it very well could be.
Yeah.
Very well could be. All right, let's get Bundy's keys, and then we'll wrap this out.
Keys to the game tonight for the Philadelphia Flyers. Number 1 tonight, scoring first.
Yeah.
The Flyers have managed a 14-13-5 record when trailing first, but that is not a sustainable winning formula. Meanwhile, the Rangers are 16-4-2 when scoring first, but just 4-18-4 when trailing first. The Flyers have been down early in all of the last 4 games of this losing streak. Getting the first goal today is imperative to getting the win. Number 2, penalty kill. Over the last 8 games dating back to New Year's Eve in Calgary, the Flyers have been dented for 12 opposing power play goals on 26 penalty kill opportunities. That's 53.8%. Awful. During the current stretch of 4 straight regulation losses, Philly has killed just 9 of 16 penalties. First of all, boys, they got to stop taking dumb penalties and lazy penalties, and they have to do a better job when they are on the kill.
Yeah.
And lastly, tonight, elite players must steer the ship. The Flyers need their best players, Zegras, TK, Sanheim, York, and Couturier to step up and lead the charge out of this funk. Simply put, these guys have not been good enough in these last 5-game losing streak, and they need to be the ones to set the tone for the rest of the team.
Well put, Bundy. Look, I mean, I'm not going to say, again, I'm not going to say must win, but I'll say this. Inexcusable loss.
Yeah, this is a must.
They got to win.
This is a must-win game today.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
it is.
Absolutely a must-win.
All right, Lauren's about to do the anthem. We'll be back at the end of the first period. I'll have my stat, and we'll break down, hopefully, a really strong opening 20 minutes from the Flyers. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Welcome back into the Press Row Show, the number one rated pregame, intermission, and postgame show this side of the Mississippi, south of the Arctic Circle, north of the equator, and west of Minsk, Belarus. Well, why did I say Belarus? Alexei Kolosov. Tough day at the office today. He had the same amount of saves as me that period. He had the same amount of saves as Ant that period. He had the same amount of saves as Ray Charles that period. Anyone. 0 for 3. 0 for 3, and then they immediately insert Sam Urson into the game. And Urson, at least to his credit, made a couple of saves that prevented this from being even worse. But as it stands right now, I was saying, hopefully the Flyers get off to a strong first 20 minutes, and they did basically the exact opposite, 3-1.
I don't think I've ever seen that, Bundy. It's possible that it's happened before. And maybe I was actually at a game where it's happened before, but I have no recollection of it. That a team scored 3 goals on their first 3 shots of the game.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, and they were easy goals too.
Yeah, I mean the first one you can't really blame the goalie. That was a breakdown in coverage.
That was the Panarin one-timer.
The Panarin one-timer. He's wide open on the side of the. There's nobody covering him. They overextended themselves to one side of the ice defensively. The second goal is Zibanejad's goal. He's got to stop.
You got to stop that. It's from way out.
Yeah, you got to stop.
It's just there's no reason that puck has to go in the net, and it did. The Flyers were their own worst enemy again there. They finally got the first goal, and we said how bad the Rangers are when they give up the first goal.
Yeah.
And then New York, within, 2 minutes? 3 minutes?
I think it was less.
Less than that?
Yeah.
So Konechny scored at 6:22. Panarin scored at 7:05.
Yeah.
Not even a minute.
43 seconds.
And then the third goal.
So Panarin 7:05.
Yeah.
Zibanejad at 7:26. So that's 20 seconds later. And then another minute after that was Offman.
Yeah. And that's a 3-on-1. That's a breakdown in the offensive end. I think a couple guys collided. I would have to go back and look at the play. We don't get a replay up here, so I have to go back and look at it, see who it was that screwed it up. So you can't kill a goalie for giving him a goal on a 3-on-1, but you got to make a save. Help your team out. Holy smokes! I've never seen it.
Literally a save. Just one.
Just one save.
I was going to say, other than the Konechny goal, I think the highlight of that period was the guy chugging a beer out of his prosthetic leg.
Jordan Wheelman told us a story once. Russ and I sat down with Jordan Wheel, and he said that we asked, it's the craziest thing you've ever seen in a hockey arena. And he said that some guy did that back in some junior hockey place, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. He was like, yeah, he pulled it out. The crowd went nuts. And I was like, that's wild. They're like, I can't imagine what that's like. Well, we had it tonight. Guy pulled off his prosthetic leg and drank a beer out of it, and that was the best part of the experience.
So for the context, for the people who aren't actually here at the game, the Gritty was with the fan, and they were playing the hokey pokey, and they were doing put your left hand in. One guy literally put his right leg in.
He took his
leg off and gave it to Gritty, and then he poured a beer into it and he chugged it. And I'm half kidding, but also half not kidding. That might be what the vibe that needed to change for this game.
Yeah, it was wild. Totally wild.
The other thing, Ant, you spotted it right away. Very early in the game, maybe his first shift even, Abels looked like he hurt his leg.
Oh, as soon as it happened, I could just see he was crumpled in the corner. Again, they didn't show a replay. So people at home have a much bigger advantage on this than we do. But I saw him go into the corner awkwardly. I said, oh, that doesn't look good. As soon as the trainer ran out and then he was down for a minute, I'm like, this isn't helpful. And then obviously we all saw his teammates carrying him off the ice as he was going down the tunnel. He couldn't put any weight on his right foot at all. Flyers didn't waste any time saying he was out, not returning with a lower body injury.
Amadeus saying his ankle bent the wrong way.
Well, they already put the notice out, Ant. You won't be returning?
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. Guys, people in the comments are saying that his ankle was turned the wrong way.
Oh wow!
So,
it's Murphy's Law at this point.
Yeah.
Everything that can go because you said the 2-game series, quote unquote, that they had with the Lightning. The one positive, if anything, was that fourth line.
Yeah,
and then you did your radio show, and then your Flyer of the Week was Hathaway. I think Abels was probably second place in that voting. He would have been my second place at least.
Yeah.
I looked at the box scores of those 2 Lightning games. I think he and Hathaway might have been the only 2 guys that had a positive plus-minus.
Wow.
So, and again, now the fourth line, the one thing maybe you could look at positively now that you lose a fourth-line player. Because, of course, you did.
Yeah.
And still no Brink. We don't know anything about Ristolainen, right?
No, I think Carson Dorwart will be the guy if they call up a center, you need somebody to play fourth line center. If I had to guess, that would be my guess.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, this actually doesn't feel as doom and gloom as those Lightning do. Like, I still think the Flyers can come back.
The Rangers stink. Yeah. The Rangers stink. They could absolutely come back. Look, we said it pregame. There's a real chance that this game has 10 goals in it. Like I said that, right?
I think Bundy might have actually gone too low. Too conservative with 8-4.
Right? It might have been a little conservative. The game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. They just need to clean up some stuff quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, there's a real snowball going on with this team right now. If it's not one thing, it's another. And I thought they had a decent start tonight. They got the goal they wanted to get out of the gates, but then they gave up 3 awful goals after that in a row. Yeah. And you can blame the goalie all you want, but the Flyers added to that too. Missed coverages, giving up a 3-on-1. The only goal that was bad was the Zibanejad goal from outside out by the blue line. But the Flyers got to play better. And they had some chances late. There's some opportunities towards the net. They just weren't able to bury anything.
Yeah. And I did mention briefly, very, very briefly, when we first got back on the air, Urson did step up and make a couple of very, very big saves. The one Flyers power play, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a second also, that was, again, dreadful. The Rangers actually had a good 2-on-1 opportunity shorthanded on that power play. Urson came across post to post and made a really huge blocker save to prevent this from being 4-1, at least.
Yeah, no, and I missed most of that power play. I walked over to the press box to grab a pretzel, and I came back, and it was like 30 seconds to go in the power play, and I go, I see I didn't miss anything.
No, yeah. It wasn't even like the Flyers threatened.
Yeah.
It was a lot of just Rangers saucing it on down the ice and the Flyers having to start over again.
Yeah.
It's more of the same. Time is a flat circle, as they say.
Yeah. So, no, it was a bad period. But with that in mind, like you're only down 2. Like it's not the end of you're not just chalking this up guaranteed loss the rest of the game. Like, all right, move on. The losing streak goes to 6 now. Like, it's not a guarantee yet. Like, you have time here in the second period, and you got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And you got to do your best job to keep the Rangers off the scoreboard again. Flyers can come back in this game. The Rangers will give them plenty of chances the way they play, but it's making sure that the Rangers stay off the board as well. You don't want to give them 2 more goals, and you got a real dog walk for the rest of the afternoon.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know much, Anthony. You'll know way more than I do about just like the what the Flyers locker room is like. Is Couture, because Coots is the captain.
Yes.
Is he a particularly vocal captain, or is there somebody in that dressing room right now that's like, guys, we have to just lock in?
I'd say
enough is enough.
The most vocal guy is Konechny.
Okay.
I would say Coots is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's quiet. I mean, he's not. But I would say that Konechny's more vocal than him. Sanheim is another one. Like, you wouldn't think. Like, he's kind of a quiet guy off there, but he's very vocal in that locker room. And then there's guys who don't wear letters that are pretty vocal. One guy who we talked about, Garnet Hathaway. He's a guy that's usually pretty vocal in that locker room.
Garnet Hathaway tells me to do something, I listen.
But I'm just saying, like, that. Those are the kinds of look. There's talk going on in that locker room. There's
got to be.
They are on each other. They're certainly on each other for they need to play better. They're not just ho-humming it. I could promise you that.
That's all right. That's
and I know a couple people. So a couple people had mentioned earlier, and you don't have to find the comments. It's not that important. But can the Flyers turn to Carson Bjarnason, who we had on Snow the Goalie on Wednesday night? Came down. We were very grateful that he and Oliver Bonk took the 1-hour drive down from Lehigh Valley to meet us out at Chickies and Pete's of Warrington. And Bundy and I were talking to him. And I like that kid a lot, right, Bundy? Like, he really impresses you. Off to a really good start with the Phantoms.
Yep.
Like, I think it was 9-3-1 or something like that.
Yeah, 9-3-3 now.
Or 9-3-3. That's what it was. Yeah. A really good start. His numbers are good down there. They are protective of him.
Yeah.
Right. As they should be. It's his first year pro. Okay. I can't imagine that there's a world where they go, well, this isn't working with either of these guys. Let's call up Carson Bjarnason.
Right.
I don't see that. I think you have a better chance of them trading for a different minor league goalie to come in and play some NHL games next week.
Someone a little bit older, you think?
Maybe with somebody with some NHL experience that may be playing in the AHL for another team, and say, bring that guy in before you go to Bjarnason like that. I don't think you can. I think he's too green at this point.
Yeah, and I agree with that. They want to make sure, and you're right. By protecting him, I think it's a smart thing. He's a young goalie. He's got a bright upside.
Yeah.
You don't want to see him come up here and get shelled either.
Correct.
And then break his confidence down.
Right. Yeah, you got to. There's certain things that you have to do with players as they're developing, and when they're having success, let them have some success. Don't throw cold water on it by putting them into a situation, especially if the team's not playing well. Right? You can't do that. You can't have them come up. So. I don't think that's a realistic possibility. You ready for your stat of the night there, intern Andrew? Well, you're having too much fun reading the comments.
I'm not paying attention. I'm watching the ice team dance behind you. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Well, at least our mites on ice got off the ice without a brawl today.
We showed that.
I saw it. It was unbelievable. If you watch it 50 times, there's something different every 50 times you
absolutely,
watch it.
Yeah.
And by the way, did you see I was right that it was staged?
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I got an email the next day from somebody extremely high up in USA Hockey, friend of mine. He said the whole thing was orchestrated by the parents. They were all teammates together, those guys.
Yeah.
Then I'll give the kids credit because
they put on a show.
They really did. That's I mean that's like WWE level of acting. It's
it was unbelievable.
They were getting decked.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. But still, it was a great video. It was awesome.
It was awesome. At the very least, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the Flyers first, Travis Konecny with that goal. That was his 516th career point. Means he's 3 points away from passing Gary Dornhofer for 14th on the Flyers all-time list.
Oh.
And then for the Rangers, Mika Zibanejad scored in that period. That is his 19th goal this season. Barring something catastrophic, he will again get to 20 goals. He will become the fourth Ranger in franchise history to have 9 20-goal seasons for that team.
That's pretty impressive.
The other three I have right here are Rod Gilbert, Chris Kreider, and Jean Rattel. Gilbert did it 12 times for the Rangers.
Yeah. By the way, there was a
consistency. Zibanejad.
There was a time I remember we're sitting back in the day at Madison Square Garden, not like it is now. There was no real press box. They didn't have a press box in the old Madison Square Garden. Do you remember this, Bundy? The media used to sit over the tunnel.
Yes.
Right? And at the one end of MSG. And Rod Gilbert came over one time, and he was sitting there, and I was stuck between him and Tim Panaccio. And they were yelling at each other the entire time.
About what?
Just hockey. Like, just arguing about hockey. And I was just sitting in between the two of them, and they're like, and they're back and forth, just yelling at each other. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I was like, I never met him. It was the first time I think that I had shook his hand and said, hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. So, like, I didn't want to engage in that conversation. And I was just stuck between Rod Gilbert and Tim Panaccio.
Did you, Bundy, did you like playing there? Like, was there an added level of intensity knowing you were playing at the world's most famous arena? Was that real?
My favorite building to play in. I loved it. I loved playing there. It was amazing. It was just like you're walking off the street. You're going in the building. There's thousands of people in the street that are walking out of their offices. You got your suit on. You look like you fit into everyone that's on the street. And there you walk into this 5th story of this building. Take the elevator up and get your stuff off and go play hockey. Building was electric every time we played there. I loved it.
It's cool. People will roll their eyes, but I'll say this. The one time I was in there was my senior year of college. I went to Penn State versus Utah, the NIT championship game.
Yeah.
I know. But, I mean, that building was only half full, and even at, like, half capacity, I was like, this is, like, electric.
Yeah, it's great.
Different. It's a cool building.
It's a great environment for hockey. It's a great environment for hockey.
Yeah.
It was built to have hockey. Like, it really was. To house it. It's just a tremendous atmosphere. I always like that one. I got to give Montreal credit.
That's like a museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a hockey museum.
Yeah, it's a great place. Yeah. It's a great place for hockey as well up there. Just awesome. Like those were the two, in my mind, the two best. Like, if you go through all those Canadian rinks, Bundy, the one that never really impressed me was Toronto. It was always kind of corporate.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right?
I like it, though. They remade it exactly how the old Maple Leaf Gardens was.
Yeah.
They kind of reconstructed it after it, so I like what they did with the seats and stuff. I love Toronto, too. I did, actually.
Okay. All right. It was just, as far as an environment. I know it's an old building and it's going away, but Calgary Saddle Dome, I loved.
Yeah, it's a cool building.
It's a cool building, right?
So we were talking about how much of a dump that Tropicana Field was recently.
Yeah.
I felt the same way about Nassau on Long Island. That was horrible.
That was. Bundy, do you remember throwing pucks?
Yes, across the ice. Yeah. From the press box to try to get it into the seats across the way.
And do you remember when Saunders was it Saunders that actually broke the glass? And they had to replace a pane of glass, and the game started late.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the unique thing about that is you guys would do your radio broadcast on press row with us.
Yes. Yeah. Right next to the reporters. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys used to sit with us in
this is at Nassau?
At Nassau.
Yeah.
It was like they didn't have a booth. They sat on press row, right? So we would sometimes sit right next to them during the broadcast.
Remember what's funny is that like Nassau was bad, and then they moved to Brooklyn and somehow got it even worse.
Yeah,
remember that like corner section wasn't even facing the ice.
Couldn't see. Wasn't the original Phoenix Arena like that too?
Yeah, that was a basketball stadium.
And
it was built for basketball.
And like the part, if you sat behind the one net, you lost the net. Like you couldn't see the goal below you. It was like the ice went below the seats, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some bad arenas in hockey over the years. So anyway,
it's Michigan State first, not Michigan. But I wish I was going, but no, I'll be here. That game's at 1:00. I think the Flyers have a 12:30 game that day, so I'll have it on the iPad.
Unlike Russ or I, intern Andrew never misses a show.
Oh, here, Joe Patel. Snowball goes to do a press row show at Penn State, Michigan State, not Michigan.
Yeah.
We'll see our old friend Porter Martone there. No, that'd be cool though, but whatever. All right, 30 seconds left. We'll be back for second intermission.
Yep.
The Flyers have got to turn this around at some point. I hope it's today. They got to turn it around at some point, though. There's no such thing as a bad shot on net against this goalie. Just get it on net, and just something good will happen eventually. I have faith. I still think the Flyers can come back and win this game. But we'll be back second intermission. I'll have trivia ready, and then we'll see you then, I guess. Talk to you in just a little bit. This is unbelievable. Flyers are playing like this is some throwaway game up in Rochester. Who are we playing, Bundy?
We're playing the Rangers.
Yeah, you're damn right, the Rangers. In the NHL. I could do that whole scene. This is the Price Row Show, #1 rated pregame, intermission, postgame show this side of the Mississippi, south of the circle, north of the equator, west of whatever city in Russia Mitrov was born in. I don't know. It got worse. I don't know how, but it got worse. The game was not even halfway over yet, and Mika Zibanejad already had a hat trick. I read some ridiculous stat that he's now got 16 points in his last 6.5 games. He is murdering us. And it
what else is new?
It didn't get any better after that.
Look at his career against the Flyers. Like every game, he does something ridiculous like this. But that's not the point. I mean, that's not the discussion topic here. I mean,
what's even left to say?
Well, they've completely lost structure, right, Bundy? I mean, that's the thing that's the most alarming. When you look at the way that they're playing, is they aren't playing within the structure that they are supposed to play, and it's a little bit of a little haphazard out there.
It's concerning to say the least, because what happens is when your structure is good, you can kind of get yourself through games where things aren't going as well for
Correct.
you.
Right.
And you can give yourself a fighting chance, but they're not even giving themselves a fighting chance. I mean, you can blame Sam Urson or Alexei Kolosov.
Yeah, this isn't on the
want.
goalies.
To me, there's been maybe two bad goals in this game, one by each guy.
Yeah.
But it's not on the goalies. I mean, they're getting point-blank chances at the net that are going in.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd man rushes, right? It's a situation where they're probably. I'm going to steal a Rob Thompson line from baseball. Yeah, they're just doing too much, trying to do too much.
Yeah,
it's stupid to say that, but it's what it is. This is what happens at lower levels, right? When remember how we talk about when players come up from the AHL, you say, well, they find it easier in the in the NHL than in the AHL.
Yeah.
And you've said in the past it's because the structure is stronger in the NHL.
Yeah.
Right? The players are the guy is going to be where you expect him to be when you make the pass and things like that, right? That's completely out the window right now.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. They're turning the puck over. They're making passes to areas that there's nobody at.
Yeah.
And here come the Rangers right back in the other direction.
Right back at him. And listen, when it was, I don't know what the third period's got planned for us. I mean, can the Flyers score 4 goals? I doubt it. But they got themselves behind the 8 ball in that second period. 3-1, you can come back from it, as you said.
Yeah.
But you keep giving in these easy goals now. It's 6-2 Rangers.
Yeah, it's
going into the third period.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's a goal every 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not insurmountable against the way the Rangers played, but you've made the Rangers look like a dynamo tonight.
Yeah.
Even defensively. The Flyers aren't even doing a lot of good things offensively.
I'm trying to think, other than the 2 goals that the Flyers have scored, what's another chance where the crowd here was on the edge of their seat, maybe
they haven't tested this guy at all.
No.
The shots have not been high percentage chances. They've been from the outside. They've been, from distance. Haven't really gotten into the close to the net and made them work. I mean, no rebounds. It's one and done. It's bad. It's bad hockey right now. Just bad hockey. And Amadeo, you can clip that. It's bad hockey right now.
It's bad hockey. It is. It's nothing fun to watch about it. There's lots of goals, but that's not the way you want it to go. You want your team to clamp down defensively, execute accordingly. And they have not done any of that in the last 5, certainly 5 games. I thought the game against Toronto, they lost there in the overtime. They played well.
Yeah.
But the rest of the games have been just for naught.
Yeah, and like I said, I thought they were okay 5-on-5 against Pittsburgh, and they got killed on special teams in that game. But the 2 Tampa games, the Buffalo game and today, have been complete breakdowns of what they're supposed to be doing.
And Pittsburgh.
Well, no, but I think Pittsburgh, like I said, I think Pittsburgh was their breakdowns were special teams breakdowns.
Right.
I think that 5-on-5 they were okay against Pittsburgh, right? They were okay. But they complete utter breakdowns in all phases in those other games. And that's the thing, and you pointed out, if they would just play within the structure, you're probably in this game.
Yeah, you got a chance anyway.
Right, you might not be leading at this point.
Right.
But it's maybe 3-2.
Yeah.
Instead of 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's the difference of playing within your structure and playing completely off the rails, right? And that's what's happened. That's what makes it bad hockey.
Somebody said, Tocchet looks defeated. Why can't he get angry and mad, show life on the bench? I don't know if that would even help anything.
It's a long season, and coaches got to be very careful when they pick and choose to make those type of executions. He's probably had some very healthy discussions with this team over the last 10 days since his losing streak has started. And sometimes you realize that you've done something in-house that just doesn't warrant screaming and losing your crap on the bench.
So that's what I was going to say to you. The players obviously know that this is hard.
I mean,
of course. So the last thing, I'll say to you, Bundy, I'm sure you've been in a losing streak like this at some point.
I have.
When you know everything's going crappy, the last thing you want is to have the coach just screaming in your ear. It gets to a point where it's yeah, dude, I know. I'm not happy about it either, but I understand why they want to see some kind of animation coming from the Flyers bench because it at least shows that they care. But it gets to a point where it's how is that even going to help anybody? I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah,
players respond differently.
And I would say that Bundy's probably right. I can almost assure you that some of the locker room or video room conversation between coach and team has been spirited, has been loud, has been laced with profanity, right? So when you do that off the ice and you come out here and you're still playing as poorly as they're playing right now, what's the point in doing that again? What's the point in being overtly demonstrative again? You had that guy last year, and you saw how the team responded to that, right? So you got to be Bundy's right. You got to pick and choose. So if Tocchet is doing nothing at all and he's just sitting there twiddling his thumbs and not saying anything to them, that's a different story. But I'll ask, but I'm pretty certain that has not been the case. That he does have those. He likes to keep his stuff, behind closed doors.
Yeah, some coaches don't like to make a mockery of the situation on the bench. There's times where coaches get animated, but people can say that, and I agree with that last comment. We had a guy like that last year.
Yeah,
it's all he did was undress guys for having poor shifts outside on the ice, and nobody liked that. The players didn't like it. The fans didn't like it. Nobody did. The management didn't care for it much either.
Yeah, that's I said before you were here. I said it to Kurz in pregame. When it comes to Flyers fans online, sometimes you just can't win. Because they complain when the coach is animated, and they complain when he's not. It's what do you want to have happen? I don't know. Where do we even go? And then I started this comment here. It seems like forever. Michkov's stupid penalty. And we were talking about it a little bit.
Yeah,
he was not even close to being in the play, and he just tripped the guy.
Yeah, he was behind the play, and he got tangled up with the Rangers defenseman. I think it was a defenseman, and he just took his skates out from under behind the play, and it ends up being a stupid penalty. I thought Grebenkin's penalty was a stupid penalty. I thought Ersson's penalty was a stupid penalty.
Yes.
The penalties are stupid. They just are. There's zero hockey IQ at those moments.
No, Sam shoveled it into the stands.
Yeah, it's just you can't do that, right? I thought Grebenkin and Michkov both. You can't do it. You can't take those penalties. So,
you have intern trivia today, intern.
Yeah, we got to play him in.
We got to play your music for you.
Are you ready? You got your?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Here goes the intern Andrew trivia. Music.
All right. You guys will remember more the backstory on this than I will, obviously, because I was only 5.
All right.
So Eric Lindros sat out for the entirety of the 2000-2001 season.
Yes.
And then eventually Clark traded him to the Rangers.
Yes.
In return, the Flyers got back 3 players, 2 of them no-namers, and then 1 that was actually pretty significant. Do you know who they were?
Kim Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a Czech player that came over to Pavel Brendel.
That is correct.
And there's another Czech in there too.
Yeah.
There's another Czech. It's like Radic something or he played here. He played here for a while.
Yeah, I had a cup of coffee here.
Yeah. I played with him. It's like Herdina or something like that.
Starts with an H. I'll give you that.
Havlat, Herdina,
Halavich.
Yes.
Jan Halavich.
That is correct.
Yes. There you go.
Good one. So what?
He was actually an okay guy.
Yeah,
Okay
nice
player.
guy, yeah.
No, but I'm saying player-wise.
Yeah, not bad.
He's an okay player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Brendel was supposed to be a prospect and just never was, right?
Jan Halavich, we ended up trading him for Brashear.
Yes.
Oh, really?
That's who we
Okay.
transferred him into Donald Brashear to Vancouver, yeah.
Yeah, but Brendel was supposed to be a decent prospect and never was. Correct?
Yeah, he had a decent start in New York.
Yeah.
We just never really panned out, though.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, you guys will know more. Educate me here, because I actually don't know a lot about this. Lindros refused to accept a two-way qualifying offer with a minor league provision from the Flyers, who still owned his rights. After Lindros was cleared to play in December, the Flyers refused to deal his rights to the Toronto Maple Leafs as he preferred, and Lindros sat out in the entire 2000-2001 season.
Yeah.
So why was he doing that?
Dude, how long do we have?
How much time do we
We
have?
have 6 minutes.
Well, what are we going to talk about the game more? No, I'd like to learn something, actually, because I actually don't know this. I don't know if the people are going to be mad at me again for not knowing anything about Flyers history, but...
Oh, Bundy, how do you want to handle this one?
This is a myriad of things that went on. I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. Anthony, you're probably better than me.
There was a lot of external forces meddling in the Lindros situation.
Okay.
There was accusations of him, the trainers not treating him properly. There was an accusation that they tried to kill him by putting him on a plane coming back from Nashville.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. It was just outrageous. Like, it was one thing after another. Bob Clark had it with Lindros' parents.
The players had
The players had it with everything, I would assume, right?
It was just too much.
It was just too much to handle. And it was just like he had to go. And that's why when you look at the return wasn't great. Like,
No.
it was not, because everybody around the league knew that the Flyers had to get rid of him.
Right, yeah.
And so they had to take what they could get at that point. Not that Lindros went to the Rangers and then eventually Toronto or Dallas. Like, he didn't do great anywhere else.
So it was his call not to go to the Maple Leafs, but then he ended up signing there anyway?
He signed there after he was done with the Rangers.
Right, yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, it was just maybe at the time, Bundy, I don't know, you would probably know better. Like, why wouldn't he have wanted to go to Toronto at that time?
I don't know. There was a lot of things we just never figured out with that whole thing, but it was a mess.
Yeah.
Just a mess.
You think it's crazy how much we talk about Mishkov and fight with the fans now?
Yeah.
Just imagine Flyers Twitter, okay, when that was happening. Like, the world would have imploded from what happened with Flyers Twitter if we had it back then with Lindros. It was absolutely insane. It was all people talked about.
Yeah, it's all they were talking about. Yeah, with no Twitter or anything.
Yeah, there was no Twitter, and it was all anybody in this city talked about. It was nonstop on WIP, nonstop conversation about the Lindros situation. Fans would call, freaking out all the time. Snyder would call and yell at us at WIP about, with the opinions that people had on the air. Like, it was the topic in Philadelphia sports for the better part of 2 years.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Did it? Do you think it affected the team? Like, did it affect your play at all, or is that a myth? Like, the distraction of it.
Well, I think there's guys that'll tell you that we were going to win the Stanley Cup until he came back that year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We were rolling. We were rolling unbelievable, and he got healthy. And he wanted to come back and play, and there was a discussion amongst management and certain elite or leadership team of the players of whether he should come back. And Bob Clark said he's healthy, he can come back. But I think we were playing in spite of him. He wasn't there to join our team, and I think we were succeeding because of that.
Let me ask you this question, Bundy. If you go to that Devil series, right, you're up 3-1 in that Devil series.
3-1 in the Devil series, dominating the series.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just say, I know he came back for Game 5. Let's say that
he came back for Game 6 and 7. He wasn't back
for
5.
Game 5. All right, so I'm sorry, you're right. Game 6.
Yeah.
Let's say you guys win Game 5.
Yeah.
Do they force him back on you in the Stanley Cup Finals?
I think so.
Yeah?
I might have been able to live with that scenario more than bringing him back in at the end of the series because we'd done it ourselves to that point. We had no help from Eric. We won that 5 overtime game.
Yeah.
We came back from being down 0-2 against Pittsburgh. We were doing some really special stuff.
And beating a very good Devils team.
Really good. And we beat them twice on the road up there. And, we didn't show up as a team collectively for Game 5. It was a bad effort by all of us.
Right.
But our best players, for whatever reason, were affected by him coming back into the lineup.
Yeah.
And just taking the spotlight again. But I think that, again, and I guess if I were the GM, I guess I would have put him back in the lineup too. I mean, it's either like Rick Tocchet said in the meeting, you guys want Peter White on the fourth line or do you want Eric in the lineup?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the question came down to.
Yeah.
But we liked Peter White. No, I mean, like, he was part of our group.
Yeah,
like,
Whitey's a good dude.
He was playing well for us.
They should have retired his number instead.
Yeah, anyway. Not that we didn't, and we all like, we wanted Eric to do well. We wanted him to have success. It was just a very touch-and-go situation, the whole thing.
All right.
I'm glad it worked out for him afterwards, and he got his wish and got traded.
Well, I learned something.
There you go. Aren't you glad you asked? We gave you the Eric Lindros story in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a miracle.
That was good.
There's so much more to it, too.
Well, Amadeo asked me before, give him some things that he can clip while, because we'll be the Olympic break coming up. We won't have a lot of content coming out. So
yeah, that's fair.
It's an interesting clip, I think.
Yeah, we'll still have Snow the Goalie radio.
Oh, okay.
By the way, next week, Thursday, not Wednesday, because we're waiting for Russ to get back from Barcelona, and his flight comes in on Wednesday.
Okay.
So rather than do another week without Russ, we're going to actually push it to Thursday at the Chickies and Pete's on the Boulevard in Northeast Philadelphia. So be sure to join us up there for Snow the Goalie Radio next Thursday to talk all Flyers hockey. And then the week after that, we're back on Wednesday night in Malvern, PA. I know Bundy's favorite location.
I love this guy here, Jamie Rollo.
Yeah.
It would have been malpractice to sit Lindros. Suck it up. That's pathetic.
Yeah.
You come live with it for 6 months and tell me what you think afterwards.
Yeah. These guys, people have no idea.
They have
People
no
have no
clue
idea.
at all.
All right, the players are back on the ice. I assume postgame's going to be very short, unless the Flyers come back and win the 7-6. We'll do an hour postgame. All right, we'll see. We'll see you then. All right, we're back into the Press Row Show. Number 1 rated pregame, intermission, postgame show, et cetera.
Here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Where was the way they played in the third period? Where was that the first 2 periods? Like, if you play like that in the first 2 periods, you're in this game, and you potentially win this game. It's fascinating to me that they went the way they played that third. They came out, Bundy, pissed off, right? I mean, they by the way, Bundy's daughter just won it. Did they win the game?
She just made a layup to put them up by 4 and the foul.
Oh, there you go. That's good. That's exciting. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
But if they play the way they played in the third period, the first 2 periods, they're in this hockey game.
Yeah, and again, but I'll say one thing. The Rangers for 2 periods played good hockey.
They did.
And they kind of settled down with garbage time a little bit, and the Flyers got their legs. But that's sometimes how you come out of a slump.
Yeah.
When you end up playing good hockey when the other team wasn't kind of totally, dedicated to the entire third period. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not trying to sugarcoat this. This is a bad loss.
Yeah.
This is a bad loss. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it.
They've all been.
No, but this is the you get your doors blown off by Tampa in the middle of an 11-game winning streak. You sit there and go, okay, it's a really good team. They're on a great heater right now. I get it. Like, I kind of get it, right? Even Buffalo, I mean, that's a team that's been playing really well. But this is a game. The Rangers are in free fall. They have no goaltending. Their general manager puts out a statement that they're retooling. Sorry, fans, we're going to be trading away guys. That's a team that you have to just go out there and beat. I don't care. You got to figure it out. You got to find a way and do it. And they not only did they not do it, they looked awful for 40 minutes in the process.
The Rangers' best players really were their best players today. Zibanejad with 3, Panarin with 2 goals.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, but that's what, and that's when you hear the coach for the Fly, when you hear Tocchet say, our best players need to be our best players. That's what he's talking about. You need guys like that on your team to be your best players.
But here's what. So when you said that it looked like they came out like pissed off in the third period.
Yeah, they did.
Well, great. I said first intermission. I said who is the guy in the locker room that's going to be vote. Well, why didn't they do it in the second period?
That's a great question. Well,
Andrew. What are they waiting for? like that's great. You had a good third period. That's fantastic. If you didn't play like mega ass cheek extra booty stink in the first 40 minutes, that third period would have meant something.
Yeah.
And, so the standings don't care if you lose 6-0 or 6-5, or if you had a good first, second, third period, whatever.
No.
You lost. You got 0 points.
Correct.
6-game losing streak. In a 6-game losing streak, they got 1 point. They got the one loser point against Toronto. And I mentioned the aggregate score in pregame. Ever since they were up 1-0 in the Maple Leafs game, I think it was 25-8 coming in. It's now, if my math is correct, 31-11 on aggregate that they've been outscored since then.
Yeah.
That's like 4 goals a game.
Yeah, it's not been good. No, I mean, there's no other way to spin it.
I hate doing this because, Philly fans have had it hard enough as it is with the Birds and then Bo Bichette and
you just won
whatever.
a Super Bowl last year. Relax.
I know.
Never be satisfied.
No, but
Never be satisfied.
And keep remembering, this is entertainment, and one season leads to another season. It's not like it's the end of forever, right? You try again, try again.
I don't know. The Flyers might fold after this.
I know, right? But no. I don't know. I don't. You could blame, and we talked about the beginning of the first period. Like, I've never seen a team score 3 goals on their first 3 shots in a game. This is not on goaltending tonight.
No,
this is not.
It didn't help.
They weren't. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they were good. They weren't, right? But this is not on the goaltending today. This is on the way the team played in front of the goalies today. That's it.
Especially the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was just not like they were losing defensive structure. It didn't work again. Guys were slipping behind defensemen, going to the net, losing puck battles in the corner. Those are all things that add up in a massive losing streak.
Yeah, look, those 50-50 pucks, Bundy. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but you can't lose 75 to 80% of them, right? I mean, That's what it comes down to. You can't be that far on the losing side of those. That's on players, man. Like, that really is. Those guys got to go out there and they got to They got to figure out what they have to do to be able to be better in those situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in crunch time here. There's 0.9 of a second left. We're up by 1.
What happened? Did she make the free throw?
She missed her free throw, but then the other team went down and hit a shot right off the glass into the bucket for 3. They cut it down to 1. So
who are they playing again? BU?
BU. It's BU's ball deep in their own territory. 0.9 of a second left.
Oh, I hope there's no Hail Mary here, Bundy.
Give me 1 win today.
Yeah, that's right. Hope there's no like half court shot here that comes in and. This is always my favorite part of a basketball game.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's amazing how the games end up so tight at the end of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for watching my daughter's game.
No.
Don't apologize. It's way more interesting than what we just
far more
watched.
Entertaining than what we just paid attention to, right?
By the way, Joe left a comment here. Russ was the glue. Team fell apart when he left the country. Don't worry. I've thought about it. There's a non-zero chance all of this is my fault. There's a non-zero chance it was all my fault. And Russ is never going to let me forget the fact that when I took over the show, the Flyers went to anking.
Yeah, they went completely under.
Oh boy,
went completely under. But what I mean by this being my favorite part of a basketball game, Bundy, it takes like a half hour to play the last minute and a half of a basketball.
Crazy, crazy.
It takes forever. Like the first 30 whatever minutes, or what do they play in 4 10-minute quarters?
They play 10-minute quarters.
4
the
10-minute
girls
quarters.
do, yeah.
So the first 38 minutes of the game takes about an hour. The last 2 minutes of the game takes another 45 minutes. It's unbelievable how long it takes with all the substitutions and the timeouts. Looks like that's a victory, huh?
That's a victory. They threw the ball away. Okay.
Good. There we go.
So we got to win. 56-55. Loyola, Maryland beats BU. That's your highlight for me. That's it.
Go Greyhounds.
Yes.
Got the job done.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? So Monday is at Vegas.
Well, where do you go? You should go on a road trip. That's not going to be easy.
Vegas, Utah. Colorado. They're a pushover.
Yeah,
and then back home for
they're in a rut right now. Believe it or not,
they are a little
Colorado
bit.
is in a Colorado rut. Yes.
What's a rut for them?
Well, they lost 7-3 to Nashville at home last night.
Yeah, I think they've dropped 3 of 4 or 3 of something like that. 3 of the last 5, something like that.
Yeah,
6-3-1 in their last 10. I guess for them.
Yeah, but I think the 3-1. I think 2-2-1 or 1-2-1 in their last 4. I bet you. I think it's what it is if you look at their schedule. But
so they'll be desperate for a win, is what you're saying?
Well, it's a week away. Who knows where it's going to be at that point? But
I don't know
look, as Bundy pointed out, beginning of the game. Vegas has not played great. Utah's okay, but not like a world beater. Obviously, Colorado's the best team in the NHL. You have to win. You have to have a winning road trip. It's crazy. It's crazy to say that. Normally, you would look for 500 on the road,
and
right?
They're playing 3 playoff teams, mind you.
Yeah, but you have to. That's where the position that they've put themselves in, and you're going to have to do it with one of these 2 guys in net. For at least 2 of the games.
Yeah, I mean, we can say that. Like, they have to do this, they have to do that. I don't know what my confidence level is that they'll actually do it. I don't know. So the Pittsburgh game happened. I think that was by the way, I'm just realizing I actually nailed the final score. I just got the teams wrong. I said 6-3.
You did.
So the Pittsburgh game happened, and I couldn't believe it, but I woke up the next morning for work, and there was a tweet sent out in the middle. It was the middle of the night for us. But for Russ, it was daytime, and he is already pulling up the tankathon.
Oh, here we go.
And he's back.
I don't want to hear him with his tankathon stuff. I don't want to hear it. I'll throw him off the balcony.
Guys, well, first of all, typo, but he said, guys, is it time to rank? But he meant to say tank. I'm going to say no.
I will never root for that after what the start this team had. I mean, they're in a bad funk. Everybody goes through on it, but they got to get out of it somehow.
No, I take Russ's defense. I'm pretty sure he's kidding.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know that.
No,
I'm pretty sure he's kidding.
Well, you know how he is.
Yeah, but it's like,
come on.
They can't do it again.
All he does is feed off of the opposite of whatever everybody else says.
Right.
That's what Russ is.
The one thing I will say I was talking a little bit to our friend Mike, the organist, during that third period.
Yeah.
Pretty much every team, with probably the exception of a few, like the Colorados of the world, they go through these ups and downs. It's an 82-game season. It happens a lot. The thing I'll say that I said to Mike was I'd rather them be doing it now as opposed to what happened 2 years ago when it happened in March and April, where they just completely fell off the cliff at the very last second and cost themselves a playoff spot. If they get it out of their system now and can finally put it together once they get Vladar back in net, and they can actually string together wins again like we saw them do the first half of the season, then I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
But we are in dire straits right now. Dire straits, and I feel bad for the fans who, paid for a ticket today because that was basically just money for nothing.
Yeah, no, it was and your chicks for free? Sorry. Anyway.
I'm trying to just make myself laugh because it was a depressing day today.
Yeah, that was
at least it stopped snowing.
That was your dire straits joke. I got you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll be here all week.
Save it for the next poem. Do you think he makes some practice tomorrow?
They're leaving tonight for Vegas.
Oh, they're leaving tonight.
Yeah, so they'll be there tomorrow. So yes, they'll have a skate. Oh,
then they will skate tomorrow. I didn't realize they were leaving tonight.
Yeah,
I thought they were leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they will skate because you ain't flying out there early and giving them a day off.
No, not in Vegas. Not we go out there giving free reign. Get in tonight.
No.
Get in tonight around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I know what I'd be doing.
What's the flight time from Philly to Vegas? Like 4 hours?
Like 5 hours.
5 hours?
Yeah, it's 4. It's like 4, a little over 4, because it's 5 to L.A.
Okay.
So it's a little bit shorter than that. It's like 4, maybe 4.5. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's anything. Do you have anything else that's sticking in your craw, or do you want to get out of here?
Sticking in my craw.
Yeah.
No.
Bundy?
There's a lot sticking in my craw, but I'm not going to worry about it right now because
Loyola
this
won.
Loyola thankfully won, but I was hoping we'd get a 2-for-2 afternoon, and both games, of course, ended right at the same time. So, you know what? It was this team needs to figure it out, and they need to figure it out quick, or they're going to be out of this thing real fast. They need to pick up points in every game on this road trip.
Well, I said they have to win the road trip.
Yeah, they have to win the road trip.
If you win the road trip, if you win 2 out of 3,
that's a good showing.
It's a good showing.
Vegas has won 6 in a row now.
Yeah, but they're still not. They have a they're right at 500.
Yeah,
wins versus losses.
Right,
and that if you include, they have 12 overtime losses.
Yeah, I know.
Right, I mean, yes, they've won 6 in a row. Okay, they still haven't looked great.
They haven't, but they still find ways to win, and they still got some good players, and they're going to be having a home game against the Flyers, and the Flyers need to just figure their crap out.
Yeah,
quickly
is right. You're absolutely right. So,
well, that's the end of my tenure as the host, at least for the foreseeable future. Russ will be back.
You did a great job, man.
I appreciate that, Bundy. Yeah, Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So we're not back here until a week from Monday, right, for the Islanders game?
That's the next time we're back here. But again, Thursday at Chickies and Pete's on the Boulevard, Northeast Philadelphia, 6 o'clock Thursday night. Be sure to check us out there.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, so Monday, and then I think after Monday, that next Monday, they have another 9 days off, and it's a 3-game homestand, and that's their last 3 games before the Olympic break.
Yeah.
And then, we'll see what happens. Is Risto going to be healthy for Finland in the Olympics? Do you know that? Probably, right?
Probably, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Intern Jinx as a host. I know. I'm sorry. All right. Well, other than that, I'll let everyone get back to their Saturday. Hopefully they can find a way to enjoy the rest of their weekend. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Rate, review, subscribe, retweet, tell your grandmother about us. I don't know. Everything Russ says. And then where's the Chickies? I don't know. Go Loyola. What did you say the Chickies and Pete's was again? I'm sorry.
We're in
Northeast Philly.
Broadway,
right.
Yeah, Boulevard.
Right.
Boulevard.
And then we'll be back here a week from Monday against the New York Islanders.
They said they need a forward, and that's the other thing, Anthony, really quick, too. They're going to have to call someone up for Abels, right?
Yeah, I would imagine. If I was guessing, and I've not been told this, but if I was guessing, it would be Carson Dorward.
Okay.
Because you need a center for multiple guys. Like when they called up Gaucher earlier this year, that was just, that's a guy you're calling up that's a temporary call up.
Yeah.
Because that guy's barely going to play. But now if Abels is going to be out for long term, which it sounds like he is, then you need somebody who's going to be in that spot in the lineup.
Right.
So you think Dorward's going to stay here?
Well, yeah, because who else you bringing up?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I still think it's a little bit early for a trade. Like I know that they've been looking to get a center, a depth center. I think it's too early for that. So I think you're going to probably go with somebody that you have in the organization. That's another one. That's another possibility. Danky Bud puts up Anthony Richard.
Or that. Okay.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
You guys are good, right?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. We'll see you later.